For week 7 final project, I decided to do a PowerPoint on the introduction to supply chain management. Supply chain management not only is my future career interest and the field of interest I want to partake in, but supply chain management is a field of ever-changing field that involves not only supply chains but the logistics involved in them as well. This project will discuss what exactly the field is, what someone that is barely getting into the field should keep as food for thought, how it's grown and changed over the years, what it takes to make it in this particular field, and what a professional in this field can do to make his or her supply chain more mission successful. Robert Hanfield, a very well-known logistician and a professor in this particular field, in his article, What is Supply Chain Management, described this field as the active management of supply chain activities to maximize customer value and achieve a sustainable competitive advantage. It represents a conscious effort by the supply chain firms to develop and run supply chains in the most effective and efficient way possible. Supply chain activities cover everything from product development, sourcing, production, and logistics, as well as the information systems needed to coordinate these activities. The first form of media is basically the circle of life for supply. The raw materials going to the producers, to the distributors, to the retailers, ending to the customer. Where to start? For one that has no idea where to start, a good source of knowledge on the basic understanding of supply chain management is Robert Hanfield's article, What Do You Need to Know About Supply Chain Management? In this article, he addresses that supply chain management doesn't take away from management, but it rather adds and builds to it. He also includes that structural change in a firm is critical, and if you are looking to make change, you want to do so at the higher level and work your way to the bottom down to the lower levels. You also, throughout the whole chain, you want to put in place information systems and metrics that focus on performance. The last thing Robert Hanfield mentioned was supply chain management adds another layer of complexity to a firm's strategy development effort. How has supply chain management changed over the years? Dave Nelson, another very well-known and successful logistician, in an interview with Robert Hanfield, addressed it was looked at as basically a clerk's job, and that's what they did. We received the gear, we received the requisitions, and ordered and got the materials in. And then over the time, since let's say the 1960s, every 10 years or so, it's been a rather drastic change, moving toward a much more professional organization. Ultimately saying back in the day, supply chain management may not have been the greatest profession, but nowadays and in the near future, it will grow to be the importance of functions in the world of manufacturing as stated by multiple professionals in this field. What does it take to make it in this field? Again, Dave Nelson's interview with Robert Hanfield addressed, like many jobs, you can't really learn everything that you have to do, but rather you jump into it and work your way utilizing knowledge and the resources to your left and your right. Dave Nelson said, as you are spending the company's money and buying things from other companies, is to be able to communicate with the management or with your counterparts in these other companies and be able to reason and be able to figure out what are those things that you can do and how you can do those things that will be a mutual benefit to not only your company, but the supplier company as well. Dave Nelson also mentioned that a basic understanding is highly needed. What he's basically saying there is an education in this particular field will go very long for you. It'll take you, it'll give you the tools needed to somewhat be successful in this particular field. What are things one can do better? What are things one can do to better their supply chain? Tom Davis, a process technology manager at Hewlett Packard, in his article, Effective Supply Chain Management, states good supplier management, while praiseworthy, does not constitute good supply chain management without a concurrent effort to manage the rest of the aspects of delivering products to customers. Tom gives the following methods as his views of how to be a successful professional in this field. Respond to all uncertainty, model supply chains and model simply, include uncertainty, act strategically, use a strategic modeling tool, valid input, iterative analysis, useful output, case studies, localizing generic products, adding manufacturing partners, and interpreting findings. Tom Davis also adds approaching problems with a systems view and a sound supply chain methodology can lead to great savings. At the end of this PowerPoint, it's all the cited references that were utilized. They were all completed in MLA format, and that is it.